Good evening and welcome to the weekly commodity report. I'm your host, Paul. We're going to look at natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's get started. This is natural gas, the futures contract, the November contract, still for one more week. And we finally broke that low from early September. And we do have three waves down, which is what I've been calling for. I don't believe that the low is in yet. So first we can take that line off. That doesn't mean anything anymore. I think this is all going to be just the A wave. And we should be getting a correction at least up to 2514. I would think they'll get into the 26s at least. Could even go a little higher. And then somewhere from here, then that'll be the B wave. And then they're going to come down one more time. This is awfully sharp. Definitely in oversold conditions. So I could see a correction up and one more down. Now, this is definitely a very playable bounce because there are three ways. There's a possibility that the low is in for natural gas. And when I say low, I mean like multi-year low. But I think if it gets up here, you might want to have some type of plan in partial profit, or if you can use options to cover your call or your long. Because like I said, I think there'll still be one more down to go. So natural gas getting really close to being just in a perfect spot. And definitely I'd be playing this bounce anyway because the low is coming. Everyone's been waiting for it, and it's almost here. So natural gas looking really good, at least for a bounce, and possibly a lot more. Oil. All right, oil going down on news that came out on Monday. But as I've been saying, I think the 64 level will still get broken. So this turns out to be just an ABC. And this, I think, was an expanding flat. So 1, 2, and I do have 5 waves down to here. So I think this is like an A wave. We should be getting a bounce up now, up to 71, 72 at least. Probably closer into the 73 range before it heads on down for its next wave down. So I think this is probably just the A. Get a B wave. Could go higher. It could get into the 74s. But then it should be reversing to go down again and break that 69, 64 that they set this week. So this one, I don't think is it worth playing? If you think it's going to be going into the 73, 74 range, then it's definitely playable, 3 or 4%. But I'd rather play natural gas for the bounce because oil, it could just come up into the low 71, upper 71s, 72, and then reverse down again. So oil be a little bit trickier. I really like natural gas for playing for a bounce. All right, let's go on to the metals. Copper. So copper last week, we're over here where this A is, and it came right into that green zone. And I said copper was looking really good because I thought this was an ABC, and we should be getting an ABC down, and we did. We got an ABC. And then all they did is just give this little 3-wave three-wave correction for a B, and then they came down one more time. So just still in the green zone. So I think copper looks great because I think copper goes up to break this 479. And that's telling me then that this ABC, that would be 1. And now this should be 2. And then they'll go and break that for 3 before we get a correction for 4 and then still go for 5. So I see nothing but upside for copper. Obviously, if copper were to sell off in the coming days and we break below this 429 level, then I'm gonna have to revisit this because then this is getting a little too deep for a 2. It still could be, but I'd have to see the strength of this if it does sell off. So I'd only be wanting to go long copper and playing for, well, just to reach that top should be a pretty big, yeah, that's going to be at least 10%. And if I'm right and it is going to be a diagonal, it'll be a lot more than 10%, probably in the 15 to 18% range if it's going to go up for a third wave. So I'd be playing for that type of a move. But like I said, a substantial break below 429, and then we're going to have to relook at this because this could be just an ABC correction. Now it's coming down. But I like that this B wave was just a very shallow correction, and now they've come down for the C wave. So as long as that B wave wasn't a little higher, because then that could be making like a leading diagonal going down. But because that B wave was so shallow, I like copper a lot, and it's in a really good zone. So yeah, looking for copper to be going up pretty much from right now. Gold, all right, so they came within, what is it, 41, 17 cents today of breaking that high from September. So, and I don't see this gold being done because we only have in this fifth wave, I only see 1, 2, 3 waves up. So gold is not done. It's hard to tell exactly what it looks like it could be going up in a diagonal. So right now that's my best guess because it looks just like 1, 2, 3 waves up. So that could be 1. And this was just kind of a quick 2. It would have been better if they would have dropped just a little bit more to give a bigger 2. So they could be going up in just a very quick diagonal. And then that would tell me that we've got 1 and we got 2. And this is just the beginning of the third wave because this looks rather impulsive. So like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and then they went up for 5. So we should be getting, looks like we already have 3 waves down, but I could see them like they did already bounce up. I could see them coming down one more time. Oops, and then going up, and that would probably not that far down. And then that would be 3, and then they'll come down for 4, and then still go up for 5. So gold has more. I don't know that I'd be playing for it because these waves are getting like really small. Not unless they give you a sizable correction, because maybe this is like, that's just 1, and then maybe they'll give a bigger correction down for 2. So if they come back down into like 2640 or so, then maybe I'd look, because then they'll be going up for 3, a 4, and still go up again for 5. So I wouldn't be buying up here for sure. Not unless they give a sizable correction. I don't like gold where it is, but I do see more upside. I don't think the fifth wave is in yet. Well, first of all, we haven't even broken the third wave over here yet. So they got to go back up and break that 2685.58 level. But yeah, just gotta wait and see exactly what this pattern is. I mean, maybe this is just going to be a quick diagonal, and then that might be it for gold. So more up, but you got to already be in it. Now, when we look at silver, I see just a lot more upside for silver. So, as I said last week, I think this is all just going to be a big running flat and going down to a 2-hour, and then I do see 5, and then they gave this quick, very quick little 1, 2, and then a quick shot down. So it's hard to tell exactly what this is. I'll know when in the next couple of waves over here. I'm leaning towards that this is 1, leading diagonal for 1, and this is just a quick 2. and now they're giving a diagonal look. So this is 1, this is 2, this was 1, 2, 3, and either the 4 is in, or the way this is selling off, they might be coming down one more. So this line they might come like down a little bit more. But anyway, I could see this being 1, 2, 3, either 4 is already in, or maybe one more down, and then going up for 5. And then that'll be a diagonal, and it'll either be a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal. We don't know what that will be. I'm kind of leaning towards an ending diagonal. And then they might give this look like A, B, and then ending diagonal C. And all that is just going to be 1. And then they'll give a correction for 2 and then go back up. And that third wave will break the 32.95 high, and then you get a 4 and then still go back up for 5. So silver, I think, looks much better than gold. And this wouldn't be the worst place to be buying right here, to go and play it to go break 32.95. So I think silver has more potential, has a better looking chart than gold. But the other pattern that I see, this could be leading diagonal, and this was like a W, X, and a Y. And so then that's 1 and that's 2. And now this is starting maybe another diagonal, because this was not an impulse going up. It's just 3 waves. So this could be like 1, and maybe this is going to end up being 2, and then that'll go up for 3, get a 4, and then still go up for 5. So that's why I gotta wait and see how this plays out, because I don't know which pattern this is yet. If this is going to be a diagonal or if this was a big WXY. But anyway, the only thing I'm looking for is silver to go up. Not until that level gets broken, 30.74. Not until that would break. I think silver goes up. And uranium. All right, so uranium got some good news today and exploded up higher. And so last week I was saying you got to wait for a correction. They never came down into the zone that I had. And so this, now that I look at it, the only pattern that really makes any sense is that this must be a diagonal. And like this is 1, 2, 3. That was 1. This was a 3 wave for 2. And then this 1, 2, that must be 3. That must be 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 5. That's the only thing that makes sense, because there was no correction, real big correction in here. So it's impulsive, but the corrections weren't big enough. So I want to see what happens next here. As it stands right now, if the high is in, and it should be pretty close to the high. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they should be coming down to this, on this chart, be 30.21 down to maybe 28.79 at least. I mean, they could come down lower, but this would be the first place. If you see a pullback, I'd be buying here, because I think we've got a 5-wave move. So basically any correction, I mean, the lower it goes, the better for you. This would just be the first zone that I'd be looking for, because, as I've been saying, I only see uranium going to break the high 33, because we do have a 3-wave correction. And now that we've got this strong of a move, I can't see it. I can't see any pattern that has it coming back down to 22.79. So, yeah, any correction from this point forward, I'd be buying. Now, the only thing that would change my mind is if they just go straight from here and break that, then you got to be a little careful, because then this 5-wave move could have ended something. and there might be a much bigger correction before they go up. So let's see if they like push it up. They're so close right now, 32.40, $1.26 away from breaking that. If you're not in, you're just not playing for much. What is this? 4%, still 4%, but I just think you got to be in and hope that they give a correction before they go and break the high. But yeah, uranium most undoubtedly it's got 33.66, so probably 34 as a target at least, if not higher. All right, that's what I see in the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for your likes and support. I'll see you in the next video.